buenos, buenos días. I need to find a song to sing. Love you, Lord, and I'll raise my voice to worship you, oh my soul, rejoice, rejoice, my King, in what you hear may be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. Good morning. I love you, Lord. My voice to worship you, oh my soul. Rejoice, rejoice, my King. Good morning. Maybe a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. All right. So I'm taking the tuna. Good morning. I'm taking the tuna out. Ooh. Listen, I don't like the way the fish feels. Feels really soft. Huh. Okay, this is a tryout, so I hope it doesn't mess me up. I took it out last night because it was really hard. Frozen. Alright. But it feels really soft. So, I don't know if you recall, I told you I went to the mercado, and then I saw this whole fish, and they said it was atún, like a tuna. I was like, I've never seen them small like that. So that's what I got. And they cut it for me in a few pieces. So that's what we are cooking today. But I don't like the way it feels really soft to my hands. Ugh, okay. So hopefully it doesn't smell spoiled. You know, when you cook, you have to use your senses. You touch, you feel, you squeeze. So we're gonna season the fish, put it to the side, cut the veggies, all the head goes in too. And then, so this is the color. It's like a clear, it doesn't have scale. So I guess the Seventh-day Adventists wouldn't eat that. Apparently they don't eat fish without scales, if I recall. Because I grew up with a Seventh-day Adventist person. Okay, that feels good. But these feel a little soft to the hand. So, all right. We shall do our best. Look at that. That's like a congealed blood. All right. So we are going to, I'm going to have to clean my board. Oh. You know, I don't like to clean fish. So it's like, ew. All right, today is a fish soup. What we are doing. at the sink, washing my board and my hands. Yes. Whew. That's why I don't clean fish. Yes, I get. Roast out. All right, Michelle, you are just not working today. Buenos dias. I was getting Michelle to work, but Michelle is acting out. So, good morning. How are you? We are making fish soup today. It's gonna be quick, hopefully. So, this is what I bought at the Mercado. It says fresh tuna. So I got it and I had them cut it. It kind of came like a fish this long and they just cut it in pieces for me. It doesn't have scales and it looks like dark. Usually I buy the tuna steaks, but this one is gonna be an experience. I have not cooked this fish before. So we are going to discover together how it will come out. All right, so after we put the vinegar, you know, just like you would do chicken, you're going to wash it really good with some, this is lemon, even though it doesn't look like our lemon, but it is lemon, and of course, because it's fish, you're gonna be putting a lot of that in there, right? We're gonna season it, let it sit to the side. We cut our vegetables, we cook the fish, then we put it to the side and we get our broth, our vegetables, and then towards the end, we bring the fish back because we don't want the fish to overcook, right? Alright, wash my hands again. Washing your hands is the best way to keep yourself safe in the kitchen. You guys know that. Alright, so we got our fish nice and clean. We cleaned it with vinegar and then lime or sour orange, whichever acid you have. Now, for my cooking class, I had a bunch of, I poached regular tuna, regular fresh tuna. So I have a bunch of herb oil, flavored oil left. So I have this thing and I have this jar. So I have a lot of flavored oil that whatever I'm cooking, I can use that oil because I use a lot of my extra virgin olive oil. So I'm going to be using these for the next few weeks. No problema. So I put a little bit in here. Eso. I remember the first Zumba class, the first Zumba CD that this, what's the guy, where is it from? I think he's from Colombia, if I don't forget. And he was just getting started with Zumba. And it was him, a girl, a Cuban girl, was from Miami. And then there was another girl with long curly hair, I don't remember. And she was a mother of 4 and she looked amazing. All right, so this is fresh ground pepper, always. Oh, I need to get another adobo. That's one of my favorite spices. And it doesn't have MSG in it, so you know that's good in my book. I do use paprika for this one. And then some dry herbs. Tengo tomillo, which is thyme. I couldn't find fresh thyme this week, so I'm kind of, fresh thyme is good. And there is culantro. Sí, está bien. I'm going to put a little bit of dark soy sauce in this marinade. A little bit. And what else do I have in here? Let me see, parsley, albahaca, no. Marjoram, no. Oregano, yes, I can put a bit of oregano. Your dry herbs are your friend. Oh my God, Dr. Delia says she's going to help me start a patio garden. I am so excited. Hola Greta, ¿cómo está mi amiga? She says she's going to help me start a patio garden. You guys are in for a treat, but she won't be here till August. Whew, I'm thinking hot. It's going to be the rainy season at that time for us here, so it will be a little bit, will be very humid, which is going to be good for the plant. Pepper flakes, red pepper flakes. I love this stuff. So now I like a little heat. If you don't have to have it in here, okay? Romero, no. Rosemary, I'm gonna put parsley. See, perejil, dry, but I also have fresh parsley. Good morning. Muy bien, gracias. Starting a garden. I know, she said, I'm scared though. I'm scared that I'm going to embarrass her because that garden. Sister have a black thumb. So, but you should see her. She has a garden and she's into it. I'm like, oh, this is lovely. All right. So this is my fish here, my seasoning. I believe I need a little bit of sea salt. And then I'm going to put some acid, right? You got to put some lime juice. This is fish. Now remember what I said. Fish doesn't need to marinate for long. This is not like chicken. But because as soon as I put the acid in, it's going to start cooking the fish. So that's the principle behind ceviche, right? The acid is what cooks the fish so it's not really raw. I still won't eat it. I went to Peru. I didn't even try ceviche one time. And Peru is like the capital of ceviche. I wonder if was it ceviche that was one of the national dishes, or is it that loba saltado? Ooh, that's good stuff. I went to Peru and I went to a restaurant they recommended, and I had the loma saltado because it's like beef tips and that sauce and the veggies. Oh, it was amazing. The beef was tender, melting in your mouth. Not like the beef here. Beef here is a little tough. And then I ordered, I was in a hotel, I ordered a chicken soup to go. I want to go back to Peru just to eat. I don't want to go to Machu Picchu. I don't want to do anything else. Solamente para comer. All right. So now we are going to let our fish stay in this marinade. Oh, I forgot the garlic. How could I do that? You know I have to have garlic. Wow. Maggie. El ajo. Siempre mucho ajo. Always lots of garlic. I need more. Ugh. How was so tired after that cooking class on Friday. So yesterday, I kind of lounged around in the morning, didn't get moving till about, it was time for my class. And then it was boom, 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 boom. So I had several things to do. So, but towards the evening, I sat on the balcony and I watched more Asian drama. Oh, in my old years, I'm watching soap operas, but they do have an end. They're not like, the American soap operas. And so this morning, I woke up at 7, my eyes open, and I look out. I always look out, because if I wake up, I have the shade to put over my eye because it gets so bright in the morning. And I opened my eyes, and it was kind of dark. I'm like, oh, it's cloudy. So I jumped, put my workout clothes on, and I went outside and went for a walk. Because usually it's very bright and sunny and hot, and I can't go out there for my walk. But this morning I was able to. Now the sun is out, but this morning it was perfect. There was like a little breeze. So I went out, and when I came back, I went out at about 7:15, and I came back, it was like 9 o'clock. So it was a nice long walk. Took a shower, washed my hair. I feel like $1,000,000 right now, right? That's what you do. That's what exercise does for you. All right? It's tough to get started because most days I want to stay in the bed, which is not bad, but don't want to do that too much, right? There are a few, I'm sure there are AI. I'll tell you, this AI is really getting on my nerves over this. You don't know what's real, bunch of little babies talking like grown-ups. That's annoying. That's annoying. So it's like a Rastafarian, I think they call him. He's talking about living in the mountains and some of the things that they do, how they walk a lot, and I told you guys about what he said about the eggshells, that you can turn them into a high calcium powder that you can put in your smoothies. That makes sense to me. And I have a big tray of eggs, so I'm going to start saving my eggshells for that. They give tip about constipation and stuff. I don't have issues with that because I eat too many veggies and stuff, and I keep moving. My family has a tendency to suffer with that, but I don't. All right, the only thing I want to put in here also, I have a little bit, I know I put some dry thyme. I thought I was finished, but I have a little bit of fresh one. So I'm going to chop that and put it in there. Because remember, you spend your time building flavor so your food can taste good. Now what I'm not putting in this fish is rosemary. It's a little bit too rough, right? But thyme is just perfect for this. So, sí, señor. And un poquito de perejil, parsley, fresh parsley. I'm gonna put that in there as well. Now this is sweet peppers. They call them ají here, but they're not hot. But the flavor from the skin is really good. So I buy a pack for like $1.50, and then I would just chop the skin and put it in my whatever I'm cooking. So that's what I'm doing here. Not the seeds, but the skin. Even with the Scotch bonnet, which it's not really Scotch bonnet here, but this is the hot pepper that they have here. Ají chumbo. The skin is very flavorful. So sometimes you put things in your food, it's not that you want the heat, you just want the flavor. parsley. And we'll be done. Fresh parsley. So I bought some celery, apio, that's what they call celery. And they have bok choy here that is abundant because, you know, we have Chinese here, so bok choy definitely, because that is very popular in Chinese cuisine. And your herbs are there for you to use. Use them. Don't be shy. Don't overdo anything, but a little bit of this, a little bit of that, it's gonna help build the flavor of your food. And again, the amount depends on the amount of food that you have. That's why when somebody said, well, how much of this, how much of that? Well, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? Now the head stays. This is soup. Those of you who get freaked out with the eyeballs, you don't have to put it in your soup, but I use. I used to go to the fish store and get salmon heads. Ooh, so yummy. The other day I saw somebody take a catfish to have somebody clean it. I was like, ooh, they have catfish. I don't know what they call it. Pescado de gato. I wonder, I need to look it up to see what they call catfish. All right, so now we're going to leave these over here for a few minutes, and we're going to start. So what we're going to put in our soup, of course, carrot, celery, onion. That's the Holy Trinity, right? Whenever you're making soup, you have that. Carrots, onion, celery, the Holy Trinity. So I have a carrot, I have some peppers, I'm gonna put a bit of that. I did buy squash. I love calabaza squash. It tends to be on the sweet side, so I'm kind of undecided whether I'm gonna put it in this soup. Travel to Peru just to eat? Yes, just to eat. Nobody cares, sweetheart. All right. I'm not sure what you're saying, if I need to take your comment off or not. Yellow yam, green plantain, and okra, my favorite. Yeah, I don't have okra for the soup today. I don't have yellow, I need to try that. But I have nyame, which is a white yam. I have a couple of potatoes. Now, I am boycotting carbs, but I cannot not put those in a soup. So we start with carrots and celery and onions, right? So I'm going to have onions when I'm cooking the fish before I take it out. So, but I can OD on onions. I have no qualm, just like garlic. I can't ever have enough. So, but then I have bok choy, I have broccoli, I have spinach. You know, when you hear us say that they don't eat a lot of veggies here in Panama, it's not that they don't have the veggies. They have it. It's just that in their diet, it's not a priority. But I have access to all kinds of veggies here, so that's not a problem for me. You have to have carrots. You have to have celery, apio. And with my celery, I don't throw away the leaves. Look how beautiful these things are. Why would I throw it away? It's going in the soup, okay? Yes, ma'am. Because if I don't use these, they're gonna go blue by tomorrow. That's the thing with celery here. it goes limp really fast. So there's no reason to throw this goodness away, so we're gonna eat those. I'm gonna throw them in the soup. That's gonna be part of my green. So I may not be using a lot of my broccoli and bok choy. I think I'm leaving the bok choy for my, I have some red snapper in the freezer. I'm leaving the bok choy for that. Bok choys are so simple. I think they call them mustard here, mustasa. Fresh mustasa. They call them mustard, like mustard green. Weird. Like they call cilantro something Chinese parsley or something. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Yes. So we're gonna eat these. Alrighty. But we don't need to use all the celery. So when I'm doing the celery, what I do, I take the white part at the bottom and I put it in the, when I'm collecting things for my stock. So whenever I have like stems or anything, I just put them in here. So when I'm ready to make stock, I just throw them all in there. Oh wow, my parents are from Colon, Panama. Ah, Cap Haiti. Oh, Cap Haitian is from my country. I'm telling you, I go to Cologne, all I hear is compa. People are sitting outside. Reminds you of Brooklyn, you know, when they have like those block parties and they have the boombox out. People are sitting out drinking. It's interesting. It's really lovely. I love it. I'm like, wow, look at my brothers. They are not Haitian, but they love Haitian music. Compa is Haitian. Just like our black rice. I saw a recipe this week. This lady had the black mushrooms. She called it yon yon, what we call jon jon, which I thought only grew in the mountains of Haiti, but she had yon yon. She soaked it and then she put the whole thing in the rice. We don't do that. And I'm like, oh, look at that. You know, I'm one of those, I have respect for people's cultures, so I try not to change people's recipes. Now, if I'm changing it, I say, well, I'm adding this, adding that, but if you're gonna say you're gonna make the traditional, just like I don't really like when people change people's music and they, I don't know, it's just me, but it's not that important. It's not. Alright, it looks like I may be able to use all the celery. So we have that. Those are going to go in first. The squash, I also would put it in. If I use a little bit, like I said, I'm not using a whole lot, just because it tends to be on the sweet side, and I don't want the soup to be sweet. So I'm going to put one piece, and not the whole thing. Now the squash, the last few weeks haven't looked that good, like the whole one, or they cut it in half, it's very pale, so I haven't bought any. But I go to Ray's and I get these because I like to see the inside that it's nice and orangey and buttery. Yes. All right. When I peel, I like to use a smaller knife, so I feel I have a lot more control. Not a paring knife, but something in between a chef's and a paring knife. That works better for me. And the peppers we put towards the end because, you know, we don't want them to overcook. It's all about timing, right? peppers, tomato, potatoes, and yam. The yam cooks really fast. So we're gonna put these at the same time. Because with the squash, if you can get it, because it cooks fast, and then I kind of mash it on the side, so it can kind of give a little bit of color, we can do that. All right, I think we can get started. The fish has been marinating long enough. All right, this is the deepest dish that I have, so that's all I can use. And I have to play with this burner because sometimes it just goes low on me for whatever reason. All right, so we're gonna put some onions in here. Yep. I know there was a sister here the other day. She's like, why'd you use half an onion? I said, well, just because. She said, well, me, I'll put the whole thing. You can put the whole thing in there. Onions come in all sizes. You can have a little one, you can have a big one, you can use. However, and this is a soup, so I don't really want everything to be small. So we're going to do nice chunks. And again, we're going to use some of our flavored oil that I have left over. You know, you don't want your soup to be too oily, so you don't use a lot. I have some tomatoes also I want to put in there. So it's just going to be like a hearty soup with greens. You Haitian Panamanian. Oh my God. We need to get together. How are you? Do you live in Dijon, Haiti with coconut rice? Of course. And some of that shrimp in there and lima beans. Woo-wee. Yes. But there's a lady who just said, I'm coming in from Orlando if you need anything. And I'm thinking, can you bring some John? Because I am not buying that from Amazon. I don't know. People say you can buy it from Amazon. No. I'm not an Amazon shopper. Definitely not my John from Amazon. Go to Miami, I'll get it. But in Orlando, we do have a large Caribbean store on Highway, is it 50? God, I'm forgetting what's there. And you could find John. And 3-3. You remember 3-3? Yes. Dried fish. All right. And I did make some stock yesterday, y'all. I had some leftover veggies. I used some Friday for my rice, but some leftover, so we're gonna use that. Because this is like scraps of veggies, you put water, so you're building flavor. That's why I am Haitian, but I refuse to use Maggi. All those little packets of flavor, that's bad stuff with MSG. Not good for you. You know me, I'm all about cooking healthy. That's why green seasoning, I loved it, and then I realized it's got MSG in it. Okay. Oh, you in Long Island. Okay. Wow. Well, you know, I lived in New York. I lived in New Rochelle. I lived in Spring Valley. I went to school there. Yes, I am. And, oh, wow. I haven't met a Haitian Panamanian. That is interesting. Interesting combo. But, you know, they love compa music here. I can't figure out why. In the cab, in the Uber, and on the buses. For real. For real, for real. All right, the other thing I'm starting to make, oh, we have a little leftover green onion here. I don't like the green onion here. They're just small and dirty, and you have to rinse it like a leek. So if I need green onion, I'll just go and get a leek. Leeks are abundant here. So this is the green onion. I'm just throwing it in there. But I'm boycotting rice, but you know, you can always have a side of rice with any soup that you have, and they do in Panama. It doesn't matter what kind of soup. They say arroz, arroz blanco, no gracias. I always say no gracias. Mire arroz, no señora, gracias. All right, you're going to sweat the onion. That's how we say it. We sweat the onion. So I'm not cutting my potatoes and my my nyame, my yam yet, because if I cut them ahead of time, I'm gonna have to put them in water with vinegar. I don't need to do that, okay? Because this soup is not going to take long if my burner cooperates, okay? So once the onions are nice and translucent meaning shiny, then I can go ahead and put my fish in, because that's what I want to do first. I want to cook the fish and then take it out. I did not want to mess with the fish too much and cut it because some of it was feeling kind of soft, so I'm not messing with it. Of course, when you have a nice marinade that we make sure we're going to use. You thought I was Panamanian. Oh, people think I'm Panamanian. You know, when I first came to Panama, they were like, it is Panamanian. So talking to them, I'm like, no, Americana. They're like, oh, so it is Panamanian. And then now when they see me, it's like, hello. I don't know. Avocado on the side. I have an avocado. I don't know if it's, I put it in the fridge because I bought two. It's not avocado season yet. Oh, I have avocado. It's soft. Thanks. All right, let's see what else I need to cut because I was scrapped. I want to dress because I have this, this is spinach and I don't want it to go bad. So when the fish is done, I'm just going to top it with some of the spinach. And we're going to have the carrots in there. It's going to look nice and lovely. Now the spinach here is very hardy, as I told you before. So this, look at the stem, right? So I'm going to save the stem for my stock, but I'm going to pluck the leaves and put them in my soup. That's going to be good and healthy, right? So you can eat your veggies, no excuses, right? Like you go for your walk, you watch what you eat, you make sure you get plenty of sleep, you do your part. That doesn't mean you're not gonna die or you're not gonna fall prey to some kind of disease, because we all had to go somehow and we don't know how we're gonna go. I just pray to God that I don't suffer, that it's gonna be something fast. That's my prayer. And I think it's everybody's prayer, right? Nobody wants to suffer. No. But these were. It's gonna be for my stock. Yes. But with the veggies here, don't buy a lot at a time because they go bad fast. Now you hear it. Okay. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, guys, por favor. You know, I keep seeing a lot of people cooking that rice jojo. Oh my God. Now, I don't care how much I'm boycotting rice. You put some G Jojo in front of me? No. We're done. I'm having it. Oh, that stuff is amazing. Whew. I don't know. All right. Turning the fish. I don't want to cover the pot because when you cover it, it's going to cook fast and I don't want the fish to disappear. I've been sub for months. Well, thank you so much, Dana. Yes. Lovely meeting you guys. That is awesome. You know, I tell people we are alike and we are different, right? If we would just learn to love each other and appreciate each other, the world will be such a better place. And even among ourselves as people of color, if we would just unite, we could do so much. Oh my God, look at the size of this spinach. Spinach leaf, oh. So you know I'm gonna have to chop it before I put it in here. But, so we're ready for our greens over here. Let me just rinse it and be ready for it. The other thing I tell people, you come to a place like Panama, or if I go to Peru and I'm buying stuff, and Peru, every corner, at least in Miraflores, which is like a very, I don't want to say preppy, but industrial, touristy area. You know, I'm walking the street like I always do, like I'm heading to Guatemala. That's what I'm going to do, hit the streets. And every corner, there'll be a cart selling fresh fruit. And my God, the colors were like to the senses, and the bananas, the pineapple, and they had soursop, but they were not big. They were like this big. And then you peel them. I even bought some, took them to my hotel. But what the chef, I took a cooking class, he says, we spray a lot of, pesticide. He said, make sure you wash your fruit. So when you, and veggies, so when you come to Panama and people are like, oh, everything is fresh, and so, that doesn't mean they don't spray it, okay? Because if they have a crop and they don't want the bugs to eat it, they will spray. So just be aware. So now I'm religious about washing my stuff, rinsing my stuff, and I use, you can soak them in vinegar and or baking soda, or you can just brush them, with like your soap. My dish soap, I just take my scrubber, my pad, and I scrub the skin of whatever I'm going to eat. Cracks me that spinach leaf. Can you believe how big it is? All right, so I'm gonna taste, okay? Yum, yum, yum. That's why I take my time when I cook. I could not survive in the commercial kitchen because they were just too fast. And I like to take my time when I cook. So, all right. So I'm going to take the fish out. And then I'm gonna return it to the pot once my soup is almost done. So we don't have like a soupy, everything falling over. No, senor. But this is, ooh, look at that. It's gonna go in on somebody's plate. Oh my God, I forgot to call Emma. You know, my life is so busy. Sometimes I mean well, but I don't get to do the things that I plan to do. And the fish head, come to mama. All right. So we're gonna put those over here. And we're gonna throw our meal pork in here. And then that marinade from the chicken, the fish, I'm gonna lose that. That's flavor right here. That is gold. You don't throw it away. I worked hard for that marinade. I know when I was doing the class Friday, the ladies were looking, they're like, oh, that's a lot of work. I said, you know what? I don't know what to tell you. Because if you want fast food, you're going to go to McDonald's or you're going to go to one of these, fast. I don't do fast, so I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to cover this because I do want it to cook a little faster. And do you know in Panama, you can just go to a store and just buy these covers without the pot. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay. I don't think I have the right cover. That's too big. I gave some stuff away today because it's not it. There was a fire in one of the indigenous communities, and I made like a big bag of stuff, and I gave a pot with a cover. I hope I didn't give my good cover, which I could have done that. Because I had so many. Okay. Yep, I think I did. Oh well. C'est la vie. Ooh, yes. It's gonna be beautiful. Alright. Maybe a few minutes and I'll add the stock, right? And then now I'm going to cook the rest of the stuff. This is for my stock, so I can put that in the fridge. And then with that, you can just throw some carrots, some onions, and some fresh garlic to make your stock. I got some little things I can add to my soup again. I have some leftover homemade marinara that I cooked Friday. I might just throw it. Now see, when you're cooking, when I cook, it's like I look in my pantry and my fridge and I'm like, what do I have sometimes? Especially if I'm doing meatless. It's like, how can I mix all that? Oh yes. And when you make homemade marinara with white wine, and sometimes you throw it in anything. We made ratatouille on Friday. It was good. I don't think I've ever made a bad ratatouille. Ratatouille, ooh. So good. And I put some marinara in it. you know, with my recipe book, my marinara sauce is gonna go in a lot of stuff. In your minestrone, I put marinara in it. And what else? In the ratatouille, which is unusual because it doesn't usually come with ratatouille. I mean with marinara, but it was yummy. Alright. Now, what I have, when I did the poached tuna this past week, I had a lot of spices and I had some garlic that I had put in there. And of course I wasn't going to throw it away. So I'm looking at it here and I'm like, yeah, it's going to go in my soup. Yes, it's going to flavor my soup. Yes, ma'am. Don't throw away anything. You recycle, you reconstitute, and you recreate. I told you that's the only place I am creative. Just in the kitchen. Nowhere else. I don't know how to do anything else. I don't do craft. Well, I did take sewing one time, but I was really bad at it. So, all right, I'm just going to throw that in there. That means, you know how flavorful that soup is going to be? All right, so we're going to throw in there our stock. Make sure we have the amount of water we're going to need for our soup, okay? So, this is the stock that I made with the scrap veggies. So it's like flavored water, right? Instead of using just regular water, flavored water, or instead of going to the store and buying chicken broth or vegetable broth. This is it, make your own. All right? This one had bay leaves and the scraps from the spinach, the spines, and it had some fresh garlic in it. But I'm gonna need a little bit more water, so. I can't believe I gave the cover away. Maggie. All right. So I'm thinking this could be enough water. So we're going to cover. This pot is so thick, it doesn't carry the heat as fast as, you know, an aluminum pan or my Dutch oven. But I have something in the Dutch oven. I'm putting a couple of bay leaves in here. And I'm going to cover it and hope it comes to a boil real quick. In the meantime, we can chop the rest of our veggies. So we want to put some peppers in there. I have tomatoes and peppers, yes. And the marinara is like I'll see how I feel about it. I don't know if I'm going to put it in there or not. Because if not, I can just eat that. You're coming to Panama tomorrow. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I have one of my Spanish students. She came in last night. And I was telling her all the stuff about to get her SIM card. And she said she got to the airport and she did what I asked her to do. They said, no, you have an eSIM in there. But this morning she said it seems like it's working. Yeah, because you want to be safe. You don't want to be in a new country with no access to Wi-Fi. Of course, you have Wi-Fi in the building where you are or the hotel, but you want to be safe. You know, I always preach safety, especially as single women. Don't be too adventurous and be out there without any kind of communication. So I'm going to rinse the Celery leaves. We're not gonna throw them away, right? This would be almost as if you were using cabbage, right? I do have a cabbage inside, but I have some of that part of the oxtail left, so I'm going to use those with the cabbage whenever I'm ready for the cabbage. So the oxtails, you know, they're seasoned and they are in the fridge. So these we're going to put together with the peppers in terms of timing. Yes. So let's do some peppers. Peppers I always have in the house. It's like garlic and onions. Always have those too. If it's a veggie, I'm in. Now cauliflowers I can't afford here. They're so expensive. I love Brussels sprouts, but they tend to be pricey as well. So I stick to broccoli, spinach, carrots, sesame. I'm good. I don't need to pay a lot of money for stuff. Right? Be smart how you spend your money. We had a speaker for our monthly thing. She was so funny talking about how to save money. But, you know, I mean, I always think that everything in moderation. I don't want to be saving money to the point where I'm not enjoying life. That's not the point of it, right? But if you have simple lives or simple tastes, then yes, you can enjoy your retirement. I don't need to be going to shows on the weekend. That doesn't talk to me at all. Sitting somewhere letting someone say, oh, we're going to watch Michael Jackson. Well, it's not Michael, first of all. It's an imitation of Michael. I'm not interested. Tina Turner, I don't know. It's an imitation of Tina. I love the real Tina. Don't judge. I'm not into those things, so that's not my thing. But I'll go to a classical concert, somebody doing some classical pieces on the piano. Yeah, sign me up for that. Even jazz. I'm not really a jazz fan. People say, we're going to listen to live music. It's not my jam. But it is for some people. So I always say, adelante, you know, to each his own. I don't. Everybody has their own taste. But just don't judge me because I don't like to go to the places that you like to go, right? And the beach? I can do the beach for a few hours. There's a friend, one of our sisters. She could be there every day. She's a water baby. I don't like water that much. I like to watch a sunset. I love to watch the water. I don't need to be in it that much. I know that's weird. But I'm a weirdo anyway, so, and the introvert. So this is who we are. We make no excuses. All right, some red pepper. Yes. Ooh, and I have some yellow. You know, you want all that vibrancy. I will be staying in the Holiday Inn for 2 days and then want to ask if you can tell me other things to do. Oh, there's so many things to do in the city. You can go to Casco Viejo, which is the old city. There are some people doing walking tours, which is a nice thing, but remember, it's super hot right now. So I don't recommend any walking in the street in the middle of the day. It's not recommended. You know, it's uncomfortable. You can go see the Panama Canal. Some of the stuff is indoors, but to go watch the ships, you're going to be outside. So it doesn't matter what you do right now, you're going to hit the heat. And it depends on how well you tolerate that. Lots of water, lots of sunscreen, hats, cover. Yeah. Even right now, as I get older, I find that I enjoy the heat less and less. So I just don't put myself in it in the middle of the day. I added more yellow because I needed more color. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more red. And we have tomatoes, so we're gonna have color. I absolutely love bell peppers. Yes. Then we're gonna make a bouquet garni that we're gonna throw in there for more flavor. Oh my gosh. And then you throw the fish in there. Yep. But like I tell people, when you see me doing this, it's not drudgery. It's not, oh my gosh, she's spending so much time. She likes to spend so much time. Hola, Rosalind. ¿Cómo está? So Casco Viejo, the Panama Canal. The best thing I think you could do also, they have the double-decker bus. It's covered, it's open. So yes, you might not be cool, but you're not gonna be hot. Double-decker bus, and they take you all around the city. It's hop on, hop off. So that gives you an idea of what the city layout is. But hiring a private driver to kind of drive you around is highly recommended, because they can tell you about the places, and it's fun. All right, for the bouquet, we're gonna use parsley and fresh thyme, and then we're gonna tie it together and throw it in there for even more flavor, right? When you're doing soup, you wanna do a bouquet. You know what, I have some cilantro that is looking a little bit puny, so I'm going to use some of it because I'm getting ready to throw the rest of it away. Oh, I don't know if I can find anything that's salvageable. Yes, this here doesn't last long at all. So that's why when I buy a small pack. Because, you know, after I cook here on Sunday, I don't really cook during the week. So if I have a bunch of herbs in here, unless it's mint that I can put in my tea, it will go bad. I bought a small pack yesterday to make the marinara of basil. And then, you know, see, this is gonna go in the trash. I already have bay leaves. If I didn't have bay leaves, I could have attached a couple of bay leaves to this, but I already have bay leaves. And also I'm going to throw a habanero pepper in there, in the pot. All right, here it goes. I'm going to tie it. This is what you call it, a bouquet. Bouquet garni, French. Garnish bouquet. Now see, this hasn't started to boil yet. Remember when I talked about that? Let's see, maybe this one would do it faster. All right. This is the only hot pepper we can find here in Panama, called ají chumbo, and they look like Scotch bonnet, but I think they're mostly like habanero. But these are the only hot peppers we can find. So we just throw one in there whole, right? It's not gonna. If it opens, it breaks. Yes, it will make the dish really hot. Otherwise, we're just getting. Where do you get the private driver? I can give you a name. We have several. Just send me an email and I'll send it to you. You know, my email is on that front page of the YouTube page. Mhm. I still have some eggplant, so I know I'm going to make some ratatouille for me. Yes. Ratatouille. Gotta rinse out tomatoes. You know, I was spooked a couple of weeks ago. I was like in an outdoor market when I saw this person take like an extermination thing and started spraying the food for bugs right there in the middle of the market. I'm like, oh my God. That's a no bueno for me. No bueno. I have a little something to take this core out, but I'm just too lazy to reach for it. Finally, started boiling. Yes. You know what they have here too, you can buy those tall metal, we call them bone. Like, I don't want to collect things here. I do not want to collect things. You know? And start having multiple pots and things to take space. Nope. I don't want that. Skim the top. I always do that. I don't like that foamy stuff. See? It's doing it again. Turn it off and turn it back on. Such a weird thing with this stove. The sister said, my stove, it's like it looks like it costs $50. I'm like, oh my God. This is a German brand. I'm not crazy about it either. Okay, I think one is enough on the tomatoes. Just getting started though, so it's okay. All right. So our carrots are probably good. Let's see how our squash is doing. If I can squeeze it to this side. Yeah. Yep. Not the carrot, the squash. All right. Potatoes. And I can put the potatoes and the tomatoes in at the same time, because in terms of cooking time, they're about comparable, right? Smells good. But yep, I am challenged with the cover. I gave away my cover. That was very smart, maybe. But it was all in the spirit of giving. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? When do you get the private? Where? Okay, it's like I said, just email me. It's so yummy. Thank you. Well, you know, it's just healthy and you enjoy the exercise. Like I said, if it wasn't for YouTube, I would have some music going, you know, to just get me in the mood when I'm cooking at home. That's how I do it, but I can't do it when I'm doing a live. They're gonna say, "Well, you just infringing on somebody's rights," and it's so stupid. But it is what it is. Or they'll say, "You cannot monetize this video." The little few cents they would give you, that they block it because you're playing somebody's music in the background. When did we get so stupid? Well, I understand, you know, not. Ooh, look at that. Now you're boiling. Yes, baby boy. All right. Whew. That is yummy. All right. So, let's go. You see, it just stopped. Let's go ahead and put the peppers in. I'm going to chop the celery leaves so they're not so, but they're a little hardier, so they need to be chopped. And then they're going to give you that pretty contrast. Yes. And whenever you're cooking, think color, right? The more vibrant, the more you're going to want to eat it. It sends a message to your brain, through your eyes, to say, yeah, this is good stuff. I'm going to enjoy it. So that's why you need to take time and make sure your food tastes good. So you feed it something that you want to eat, not like, oh, I got to eat this because I'm hungry. Because eating is one of the pleasures, simple pleasures of life. It's like sleeping or something else, you know. All right. Now see, it does have a little color to it, which is good. That's because of the squash. I like that. Ooh, yes. And we still have room. We gotta keep room from our fish. Oh yeah. All right. So These are gonna go next with our yam. It's not gonna take long to cook. The spinach, when it's done, I'm just gonna chop them and put them in there because the spinach takes no time. Yeah, I said I was gonna leave those. I can put those away now. Yeah, the broccoli, I gotta hurry and cook it. Don't you hate it when you buy broccoli and then you forget it and then it turns yellow? No bueno. That gets me upset when I do that. It's like a waste. My mother always told me not to waste food. That stuck to my mind. If something goes bad, I gotta throw it away, I feel really, really guilty. I tell you, that tuna tastes pretty good. All right. Get our yam. I love the on TikTok or Instagram, the people who are from the interior at Campo, and then they're showing you all their crops. And I say, when I cosecha is harvest, right? And they're showing the, mango, soursop, yam, yuca. Oh, I love it all. I would love to live on a farm, except that I don't do critters. And the first time I saw a snake, I probably died. Now, leave it to the other folks, Maggie. Just enjoy from the side. And I do. God knows I do. Alright. We're gonna put our yam in here because otherwise it's gonna get all brown. It's gonna be oxidized. So I'm putting a little vinegar in the water. You do that for potatoes también. When you're doing potatoes, and then you're gonna sit it in there, you better soak it. Otherwise it get all discolored. Oh, look how pretty. Next time I'm gonna try the yellow yam. I don't think I've had it. That the Jamaicans use. I grew up, I remember when I was home, we used to go to I had an uncle who had a farm, and we used to go. I remember like it was yesterday, one of my cousins, well, she was a mess, that little girl. She lives in Miami now. We were going to the wedding, and somehow we got lost, and the party left without us. So when we got to the place we were supposed to meet originally, they said, "Oh, everybody's gone up already." So they said, "Would you like a horse?" So it was me and my and my little cousin, and we got on that horse without a saddle. We didn't know how to ride a horse. So they said, and then the young man said, "Oh, don't worry, he knows where to go. That the animal knows And we got on that horse, and then somebody came and kind of hit the horse, and the horse started galloping. Oh my God, we were such a mess. We were screaming by the time we get there to the party. We were soaked in horse sweat. Oh my God, that was terrible. Look at that. I don't believe I need to put the marinara in there because it looks like it's already got the color that I want. So that goes back into the fridge. In the fridge, not in the fridge. You know, some days I forget my English. No bueno. All right, so you see, every time I take the top off, it goes really slow. Doesn't give you a big boil. All right, let's see. All right, we're gonna need acid for sure. Yes. So this is where you're gonna start making sure your flavor is correct. Definitely, I'm gonna need acid. Little paprika. And okay, my cumin. I have only a little bit left. I love cumin. I feel like it's like a stabilizer. Curry, nope, no curry. Some pepper. And then I'm gonna get a whole lime. So now I'm gonna put the potatoes and the tomatoes. Potatoes, tomatoes. Wow, okay. So what's left here? Just the yam. I'm gonna put the yam in the next few minutes. Okay? Oh, look at that. Just about done. And then we add the fish. Wow. Yeah, those spinach leaves were like big daddies. Okay. It's ready. All right. When we plate, we're gonna plate in our pretty blue bowl today. Yes, a pretty blue bowl. So, while we're waiting on here, if anybody has any question, ask me. I know there aren't that many of you because I'm not doing anything fancy. People want me to do fried chicken. I don't fry anything in my kitchen anymore. So I can't help you with the fried chicken, sorry. Ooh. So good. Got a nice base, but gotta work on the flavor a little bit. Wow, look how pretty this soup is. Wow, you know? So if somebody doesn't feel good, and then you say, I'll bring you some soup, this is healing, okay? Yesterday I talked about Easter and Semana Santa that's coming here in Panama. And that is usually a very happy time, you know, somber. Do I know Jackie Lane? Jackie Lane is a lady who lives here. I don't know her personally, but I watch her videos. I'm sure she watches some of mine. And she's been here since 2010, so she is the expert. You know, in all things Panama. So she really could tell. You know, she moved here to retire, and then she said her friends started asking her, you know, well, okay, how can we move here? And that's how her business started. So she's been doing tours, relocation tours, since 2010. And she's the first one who started doing that. Now everybody's doing tours. And people ask me, do you do relocation tours? No, ma'am, I do not. I do not have the stamina to do that, nor can I legally do it. So, no, I don't do tours. I just do videos. I do some consultation one-on-one, and people can book a call with me if they have specific questions. You know, people want to know about where to stay, you know. They don't ask me so much about rentals because a lot of the attorneys have their real estate people that they refer them to, because you know it's a business community. So one hand washes the other. That's just the way it works in business, right? You give me this and I give you that. I refer you here, you refer me that. I mean, I refer people to the attorneys. There's no kickbacks, or you don't get anything for it. It's just, this is the attorney I use, and I can give you two more based on people responses and reviews, right? The fixers, those people who can pick you up from the airport and take you a tour. Some of them will take you to Cologne to give you a tour of Cologne, which is the Afro-Panamanian city, most prominent, with lots of history. And or they'll take you around the city, different neighborhoods, because you know people say, well, where do the black people stay? We don't have anything like that here, right? Hey, Chef Brooklyn. And so people stay in different spots. And in fact, I think Dem Butlers just did a video. I haven't watched it, but they were talking about there is more to Panama City than just Balboa or Punta Pacifica. You know, there are several other places you can stay, and that is true. So it's good to know that you have options. And of course, it depends on your budget, you know, what you're looking for. Do you want a place that is walkable with everything within reach, not too far from where you are? That might require you to stay in certain areas. And we were talking about the sidewalks, which we talk about all the time. And I said, you know, they're not the safest. So if you're walking, if you have good walking shoes, just watch where you're stepping and not have your head looking up and down with your phone, and then that's how you fall into a hole in a ditch. People have broken ankle, elbows, arms, and yeah, people have broken legs in these Panama streets. So you make sure you know what you're doing, where you're stepping. Thank you so much, Chef Brooklyn. Oh, I appreciate the support. You guys remember when I said I wanted to hit 20K by the end of the year? That was so funny. I'm still at 19.4. That means I need 600 more subscribers. But you know what? On the other side of the coin, it's all about community. I'd rather say, you know, I have a group of people who vibe with me, who know who I am, and you know, they watch my videos, you know, and they know me, I know them. So that's a community. I'm more interested in that than the number of subscribers, seriously. And oh, it's good. Probably needs a little bit of salt. It's gonna need, of course, I'm gonna top it up with a little butter at the end. You know that monkey over, we do that here. And then when I put the fish in, that's gonna do it. Now, the yam definitely is going to thicken the soup a little bit, okay? So we're gonna put our yam in. So whenever you see me put the yam, that means we're getting close. All right? Because the yam cooks so fast. And as you see, I need to cover it to make sure it cooks, otherwise it just goes to a simmer. And I don't want to sit here for a few more minutes because this is not supposed to take long. This is soup. Look at that. That looks close to like what we call bouillon. Who's my Haitian American here? Bouillon. It looks like a bouillon, doesn't it? And then remember, we're going to top it up with our spinach. Ooh, it looks so pretty. And we're going to bring the fish back in. Now, what I'm committed to doing for the next few weeks, and we're not going to cook any rice. You stick around because I enjoy your spirit. Oh, thank you so much. Well, you know, the spirit says we are blessed and highly favored. God has brought we here, so we want to use our time on this earth to bless others. And everybody has their own gifts, right? Like I said, I don't sing, I don't sew, I don't garden. I don't know how to do any of those. I know how to cook. So I'm sharing with you my life with you through my food. Buenos días, Maggie. I'm Maria. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. I'm sorry I came on when you first started this live. Then I took a call. No worries, sis. Visiting from Peru. He's visiting in Peru. Okay. Oh, wow. Like I told you, I went last year and I'm ready to go. Just to eat. Just to eat. I think I would just stay in Miraflores. They have a couple of other neighborhoods. They have that one artsy type of neighborhood. They talk about, you know, like rent and stuff being a little cheaper. But in Miraflores, let me tell you, if you hide, you right over this expensive view of the Pacific Ocean. I mean, beautiful. Oh, I love Peru. I really did. But you know what got me though? I went to Machu Picchu, of course, because that's why I went there. So from Peru, Lima, you have to take a 1-hour flight to Cusco. And from Cusco, it was like I had a driver pick me up, then went to a station, then took a train, and it's a process to get to Machu Picchu, right? But on the way back from Machu Picchu, I didn't care for the place I stayed at. It was, but the food is amazing. Wherever I went to Peru, I did not have one bad meal, not a one. And I'm picky when it comes to food, but I tell you the food is good. It is good. I watched these ladies at a market sitting there. And in the market, you buy food and stuff, and in the back is the restaurant. And the chef who took us on around, he said, don't go eat over there. I'm like, why? He said, they eat some weird stuff, you know, like brain and head and and I'm like, okay, all right. No, I don't want any of that. And so I took a bus. I decided I wanted to drive through the Andes Mountain. You know, I've been to Chile a couple of times. And I love the Andes Mountain, love the alpaca, you know, the animals, very common in Peru. In fact, they make shirts and sweaters from their fur. And so I said, I'm going to, that would be lovely, Maria. You come to Peru, oh my God, in Peru? Oh yeah, we can go back to Peru and stay with her because, you know, I went to Cusco, which is a nice little town. I couldn't see myself living there, but the elevation in Peru will get you. 11,000 feet. Listen, I struggled. And I've seen people have to take oxygen, and when you climb Machu Picchu, you go and even, no, I think Cusco is higher than Machu. Machu is a little bit lower, but Cusco was really elevated. And I felt it the moment I stepped off the plane. And it was like it hit you. It's like, take a deep breath. So my Airbnb in Cusco was on a hill on top of that 11,000 feet. Oh my God, it was like 100 feet I had to stop. And then my heart was just pumping. So you can have a heart attack easily if you're not in shape and you're older, you got to pace yourself. But I decided to take a bus from Machu Picchu. So when I got to Cusco, no, I did not take the flight back. From when I came down Machu Picchu, I stayed in that little town, Tumbo, whatever they call it, and then you take the train to get to this other spot. And then I think in Cusco, I had to take a bus. So I decided to take, the elevation is no joke. It's, and I think Jewel was saying in Ecuador, they have also the elevation. So you got to know what kind of shape you're in. If you have any lung issues, don't go to those places, okay? And all the hotels have oxygen on hand just because of that. Okay, woo! Here we go. It's starting to really look like my soup. Yes. You gotta, patience is a virtue, okay? And like I said too, you cannot rush perfection. So when you're trying to do something good, you gotta give yourself time. And if it's soup, you need to have broth, right? You need to make sure you have broth. Ooh, so good. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of cornstarch if I just wanted it to be a little bit more, on the thicker side. I can do that, but I'm gonna put the fish in first, and then put the spinach. Where is my lime? I have to put a good squeeze of lime. But I took a bus from Cusco to Lima. It took 23 hours. And I said, doing it. Because I wanted to see the Andes Mountain again. And boy, did I see the mountain. Up and down we go. One mountain down, another mountain down. Ooh. And then you get to see all kinds of different communities. And the people were this high. Some of them, they were skirts, and some of them were these cone-looking hats, and it was just amazing. I just love it all. So the bus wasn't that comfortable. But when I'm on these buses, I do not sleep because I want to see. I saw sunrise, I saw sunsets, and I held my breath a lot of times because we're coming to a corner, and I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna crash. Oh my God. It wasn't no bueno, but it was fun. All right, so right now I'm going to take the bay leaves out. I'm going to take the bouquet garni out, this thing here. Yeah, I don't want it to mess up my soup. So I'll take that out. There's one more bay leaf. Ooh. Yeah, I may end up putting up. Okay, I'll find. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, let's bring the fish back in. Now, another fish that is good here that you could put in your soup is corvina. Corvina is meaty, so it is thick, so it can hold, right? Because you want the fish or the catfish, right? Because I've used catfish in soup at home. And oh, look at that. Yeah, I don't want to lose any of this broth. Yes, sirree. Oh man, I have a pot full. Look at this. Yes. Oh. Okay, I think I want to put a little bit of that cornstarch in here. Not quite. Something is amiss. I don't know yet what it is, but I'm hoping that the fish is going to flavor the broth some more. It's got plenty of acid right now. Okay. It's very light and brothy, which is good. Very light and brothy. A little bit more adobo, and I think that should do it. Now remember, I'm going to be putting this the spinach in. All right. Ooh. Let me get the cornstarch. Another day has come. I'm so grateful to you. Though you fall apart, and of course, you know, we're gonna pack it with a little bit of butter. But if, or what I was gonna say, if you're vegan, well, we got fish in there. That would not work for the vegan. But I do not want to ever ascribe to a diet that said I can ever have one thing. No. I mean, if I don't have it, it's because I don't want to, but I don't want you to tell me I can't have it. That's a no bueno for me. I'm too much of a rebel. I don't like to be told I can't do this, I can't do that. No, no, no. Poquito de agua. Poquitito. Poquitito. Now remember, this is me putting that in there. You don't have to, right? I just like to have a little bit on the thicker side. Right. Ooh. Yes. Okay, now we got it. I told you I would know when it's good. All right. So now this is going to give you a great contrast with your soup. Now, how is that not healthy, huh? Can anybody tell me, if you are sick and someone brought you this soup, they're speaking your love language, right? Now you can eat that with bread, but like I said, we're not doing bread these days. And someone suggested avocado. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Another day is gone. Oh my goodness. Oh, oh, oh. A pot of goodness. Okay. So you got broth, plenty of broth for your soup, because that's what it is. It's a soup. Make you feel nice and warm inside. Oh, this is my Scotch bonnet or habanero. I'm going to take that off. Oh yeah. And then we're gonna do a little bit of Monte au beurre. This is New Zealand unsalted butter. Who asked me Friday? She's like, how does the butter come from New Zealand all the way to Panama? I said, by plane. She said, oh. That was so funny. I don't know if she was trying to say, maybe it's they make it here and just call it New Zealand. I don't know. This is where they say the Western civilization is based on a culture of trust, right? So if somebody says this is butter from New Zealand, I don't have any reason to doubt that it's not from New Zealand, right? But when she said it, I'm like, oh, I haven't thought about that. All right, I think we are done. Ooh-wee. Now, you know, paprika is just red pepper flake, right? Red pepper. Yep. We are ready and done. You know, it's brothy, it's not spicy, it's just healing. So I'm gonna turn the heat off. So at home, you're gonna leave this soup to sit. You know, all the flavors are gonna sit in. You don't touch it, you leave it alone, don't cover it. And then give it a good 30 minutes and then serve. But we don't have 30 minutes here. So we're gonna plate a bowl, but you should consider letting it sit, okay? Yes, oh, it is beautiful. We are not alone. I'm right here. We will fall apart. We need to stay. You are not alone. beautiful. All right. So for our plating, let's check out our avocado to see how it looks, since somebody suggested avocado as a side. It's always a surprise. But I do have a delivery service, and they send you 3 avocados for $5. Ooh, that looks good too. Buttery. Yes. Mmm. 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 Very good. All right. Very, very good. All right. We're gonna plate one, and I'm thinking maybe we can get, not the head. I think the head is gonna make some people think, oh my God, Maggie. Like, I don't know what I did, and when I was, I haven't cooked what is it about again? No, the octopus. I have not cooked the octopus yet. So we have a piece of the fish in here, and look at that. Isn't that pretty? Yes. So the octopus, I'm gonna have to look some watch some videos. Apparently, when you grill it, it's really good. And somebody said it looks like brain. I'm like, ooh, okay. I don't think so, but all right. We have soup, and I'm going to put 2 slices of avocado next to it. I need to get that. I go to Conway, and I was looking for a little tray for, like, if you're serving bread or something like this. And it was a bit expensive, but I think, you know me, I don't like to spend money like that. So I was like, oh, there's something cheaper. But it's wood, so it's worth it. So I'm going to go get it. So we're going to put 2 slices of avocado on the side. And voila! Soup is done. I forgot how they say slices. The aguacate. It's too thick. 2. Sí, tenemos 3 ahora. There we go. 3 de aguacate. Okay. Hi guys, so we are done with our soup. This is what it looks like. I think I'm gonna break this thing one of these days. We got our soup con aguacate. Acá. Get a nice spoon. And that's all we need. And we are done. Done, 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 done. All right, guys, thank you so much for being with me today. I wanted to do something simple. Thank you. And, it's hearty, it's yummy. It's like you would do a chicken soup, except you change your protein to fish. Or I guess you could do, what is it again? Tofu. I guess you could do tofu. I've grilled tofu and then put it on top of soup, not inside, because tofu is very fragile and it will break down into a hot mess. So you could do that, because there was a dish that one of the sisters got this week at this Thai restaurant, and they had vegetables and all kinds of things, and they had tofu that had been grilled, I guess. Nice, on the grill with the marks. So it was good. But anyway, this is what we're gonna be doing, a lot of meatless stuff. Not necessarily meatless, but no rice and stuff for the next few weeks. I can't afford to be taking in too much rice. Okay? Alright, so a nice bowl of soup and some aguacate. Okay? What else can you ask for? Alright, have a beautiful day. I love you. I'll see you next week. Okay? Bye.